Welcome back to Nintendo Arcade, guys. Alex here with another game room tour. I know it's been a long time since I last did one, but you know, these collectors are hard to nail down, guys. They really are. And this episode is a console collector, which is just a part of this channel as the arcades are, really, because back in the day, although we did spend a lot of time down the arcades, we spent just as much, if not more, at home playing console games. And this guy is a prolific console collector. His name is Robert, and he's got a YouTube channel called the Essex Retro Gamer. You might have seen him. He visited my arcade a few weeks ago and he did a fantastic game room tour of my arcade. Now I'm returning that favour. I'm going to go over and visit him at Southend. So I've got a long way to go. And this is a long video, guys, so I'm just going to jump straight to the front door. No dilly-dallying around with eating cream cakes in the van. Maybe we'll have time at the end of the video to eat a cream cake, but we're getting straight into it, guys. This is the Essex Retro Gamer. So here we are, guys, another game room tour, and this is the Essex Retro Gamer. Let's knock him up. Inland Revenue. Inland Revenue.
Oh God, we don't need the taxman round here, mate. Definitely
How you
not.
doing?
I'm all good, my friend.
Yeah?
I'm all good.
I'm so excited to be here, mate, honestly.
Excellent.
It's been a long
Excited to have you
journey.
here, of course. Come in.
Thank you very much.
Come in, my friend.
So, the games room.
The games room, indeed.
Downstairs?
It's downstairs.
Yeah?
Yes,
Oh, cool.
It's off over here through this door.
Cool.
We're going straight in?
We'll go straight in. I'm dying to see it. And so I think many of my viewers are as well.
Excellent. Here we are.
Oh, wow. Oh, mate. You don't show this on your videos. Wow. Dude.
There we go.
This is awesome. Oh, my God. Look at all these Wii games. Well, I'm just going to have a quick pan round, guys, just so you get a gist of what we're about to see in this video. Because this is an incredible console collection. Look at that, it's got an Xbox 360 kiosk. And there, look, here as well, another little room. Oh, wow, this is cool. Rob, fantastic. Well, where do we start? I don't know where to start. Should we start where we came in?
We can,
Shall
yes.
we? Is that where you feel most comfortable with?
You're the boss, Alex.
Okay, mate.
You're the boss, mate. So
wow.
I can try and show you around.
This is some collection, mate. How long have you been collecting?
Way before I came on YouTube. So
Yeah.
It's a funny question because, to be fair, I've collected for years because some of this stuff I had when I was a kid. Very, very few items, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there are things like my Mega CD I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So you're in a position where, was I collecting for 30 years? Not really, you know, because there's a
I think
big
you can
pause.
say that. I say I've been
okay.
collecting for nearly 40 years.
There you
because
go.
I've still got my original Spectrum games from back in the day.
Yep.
So, you know, and I used to collect then. You know, every week I used to get a game, you know. And I've still got them in my collection, so yeah, you could say that. You've been collecting that long time.
About 25 years.
But as a serious collector...
Probably about 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And even that, there was some lulls in there. You know, life takes over, doesn't it? And you buy stuff. And this room it started as half of this, and then there was an office here, and we kind of knocked through and made it a bit bigger. So that was about 2 years ago. And from there is when we really sort of stepped it up.
So this was an office beforehand?
This was a dining room, and this was an office.
Right,
and it had a like a stud wall there.
Yeah.
You'd know all about that.
We did the right thing.
Yeah,
we did the right thing.
We moved the office out the back,
Yeah.
put it in a summer house type thing.
Yeah.
And then thought, let's knock it through because we need space for more games.
Of course
Alex.
you do, mate. And there's
That's
never
the
enough
thing.
space, is
There's
there?
never enough space. and that's
enough.
the most important
It's
thing.
every gamer's bane, isn't it? The
Absolutely.
space. I'm drawn to this one-up cab straight away because they're not, I have to be honest, I don't like them.
No.
But I understand why people have them.
Yes.
Because they are convenience and they're cheap, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they do the job.
Yeah. What I think a lot of, happens with these one-ups is that they're kind of an impulse buy from time to time. And we was in Smith's, I think it was, and there it was, and it was like, oh, that could be fun, and the kids introduce them to a bit of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But I would like to upgrade it, obviously.
Yeah. So do you find playing Street Fighter on this cab as good as it was back in the day?
Absolutely not.
No. What's the problem then?
The joystick, I just can't. Right. I can't be doing with the joystick.
But you could change that joystick out and put Samuels in there if you wanted to. But you could upgrade it.
I could. But the basics of it, the issue is that the basic, as it comes out of the factory, there's no way that joystick is as good as the as the upgraded one, the Samuels or the ones back in the day, because I'm doing certain things, and and we go to the Retro Hunter and Ali's Arcade, Neon Nights next door, and he's got Street Fighter cabinet, and I'm back to being able to do all the moves, no problem. But this one, it's like miss it, and you're like, it's got to be the joystick. It's either me or the joystick. So I'm blaming the joystick. Yeah,
but back in the day, then you were quite a player, and still are in the Street Fighter. You were that young kid that I used to hate in the arcade, because you're a little bit younger than me. I'm getting on now. I'm an old guy, But you were like the new wave of kids that were coming into the arcade with these new games that literally gave the arcade a bit of a revival, what it needed really at the time. But I could never get to grips with it. I could never get to grips with the buttons. It was a little bit too much. I was used to the old school 1-2 button arcade games. It was only until it came out on the Super Nintendo I actually got to like it, because I got inside the game and really enjoyed it for what it was.
Well, for me, Street Fighter was like a mark of where you was in the social standing. Because if you could play Street Fighter, you was like a cool kid, I suppose. Yeah. That was kind of what it was like. And so we just hammered it and played it and played it and played it. But that was right in a transition. I was probably too young to be in the arcades. Yeah. And then a couple of years later, after the release of the arcade and stuff, then you got into it, and then you really went crazy for it. So
you were quite competitive with it back in the day, was you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe we'll have a little go on that later. I'll test my skills.
Maybe.
Well, it's great, mate. And so I'm going to pan round here to this first bit, because the Nintendo always draws me in any collection. Yep. You've got a lovely N64 collection here, mate. I mean, look at these games.
Yeah, let me...
look at these games.
Let me show you.
Look at these guys.
What can I show you? I mean, there's some games there. I try to organise. A lot of people have commented about the way that the room's laid out. Yeah. Now, this room is by no means full if you take into account if you was to just put them game next to each other, But what I've tried to do is, like, space them out a bit. Yeah. But even then, some of them are falling behind that you can't see.
Yeah, well, that's, as your collection grows, that's going to happen. Yeah. But you can always put your favourite one's face on, show a bit of the artwork, especially the in-house Nintendo games like Zelda and stuff. So how old's this collection then? Is this fairly recent, your N64 collection you've been picking up? Or
no, I mean, I had an N64 early because of GoldenEye. Yeah. So I've had... I couldn't tell you dates-wise. I would say... It was one of the first consoles, really.
So you've got a lot of nostalgia with it then?
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I haven't. I missed the N64. Oh, wow. And I cannot go back to it. There is an odd game, and Doom 64 I like, maybe Robotron and Zeldas, but I struggle to play any N64 game, because they got that foggy look to them about them, you know? Yeah. But show us some of your favourite games, mate. Pick a few of them out.
Well, this was, and I did a video on it, didn't I, that this was the Donkey Kong 64 that Joe bought me.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of my favourite games. I just think they I know people prefer the original. Yeah. But I do think that they sort of brought it on a bit from there. And that expansion pack, you talk about the fogginess, Alex. Yeah. The expansion pack did wonders. Yeah. It did wonders. Yeah. I'm maybe over-exaggerating a little bit. Obviously, things like I said, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, it's everyone's favourite, isn't it?
You can't really you can't really talk about N64. And look at them, Alex. Look at them graphics, mate.
I know.
Come on.
No, it was good at the time. I do remember a lot. I do remember a lot of people enjoying that at the time. Yeah. I think it's because I was travelling. I just missed out completely. I'd love to have got into Smash Brothers back in the day, because that was its first appearance, wasn't it? As a game on the N64.
Absolutely. And I mean, I was into the racing games, you know, and the kart games and stuff.
Yeah.
And I love Diddy Kong Racing, obviously,
Yeah, that's
which is
a good
another
one.
that's not. Yep.
That is an awesome game. I wish they'd bring that out on the Switch, actually.
Yeah,
I love the boxes.
Racing wise, I mean, you don't get too many dedicated games anymore when it comes to the cars, but when the Beetle was released.
And you've got a, what's that? It's an unusual car, isn't it? What's that?
Yeah, so that was, Joe applied for a competition in the US. There was like a competition going on, and she applied. She didn't even really realise it was this My Retro Bones channel.
Yeah.
And we won.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's a
lovely car.
I've never really won anything. I think it's like the only thing I've ever won.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that orange N64? Is that Japanese or is that English?
No, these are the fantastic ones.
Yeah.
So I don't have all of them, unfortunately. Yeah. Watch this space. But yeah, I've got 4. I just picked them up as they came. I mean, I got one from a gaming market a good couple of years ago, another one from a shop that I was in at the time. I just sort of picked it up as I went, you know?
Yeah, fantastic. And I've noticed you've got some lovely, beautiful boxed examples of a Super Nintendo console. Lovely. I just love... I mean, they don't do box art like that these days, do they? You know,
Not
like
really.
the Switch.
Yeah.
How boring is that? The Wii U had a terrible box art.
Absolutely.
You know, but look at those. They really sold the console and the game back then. Then moving on, you've got like a Sega Mega CD collection.
Yeah, this is the Mega CD stuff. I haven't got loads of games, and I am, you know, missing some of the big ones. I've got one of the big ones, you know, which is obviously Snatcher there.
I've heard this one's supposed to be excellent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Isn't
good
that almost arcade perfect?
Yeah, well, it's one of them on the well, it's to be disputed, isn't it? But you know, it's one of them on the console that it's kind of one of the best, you know, the standout titles. People say you've got to have that.
And this is another game that everyone raves about, isn't it? Snatcher. I never played it.
Absolutely.
I remember a friend of mine got this at a car boot for £1, like, I don't know, 5 years ago. What does it go for now?
I don't. It's about 400, maybe 500, around that sort of price.
Well, I've paid that for some SNES games.
Exactly.
Road Avenger.
Yeah, not a great game, mate.
Isn't it?
Not a great game. Probably the worst game.
Right, it's got like cel-shaded graphics, is it?
Shocking.
Yeah.
And speaking of you know, there's loads of shocking games on the Mega CD, but that was part of it.
That's why it didn't do so well, is it?
I've put this next to it just because there's nowhere else. But speaking of £1, I got this for £1 out of a charity shop.
Oh wow!
Bit of a strange thing to find in a charity shop.
Yeah, on its own.
Yep, just sitting on its own. There was nothing else
there. There was more games with it, wouldn't you?
There was nothing else there. It was literally that.
Yeah.
And it was £1.
So how many games did they release for the Mega CD then? Do you know?
I don't know,
For
like a couple of hundred.
A couple of hundred.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of hundred.
Yeah. And then you've got a Super Nintendo collection, my favourite system.
Yeah.
All PAL though, I notice.
Yep, all PAL. We don't have any. There are so few. You'll have to spot them. There are so few Japanese.
And is there a reason
items.
behind that?
Just because I'm all for the nostalgia side of things, and I'm not
yeah.
nostalgic. I know you had a shop that you got some Japanese stuff from when you was younger, didn't you? But I didn't. I never had Japanese stuff.
Right.
It was only PAL. And my Super Nintendo collection are the games that I had, you know, and I haven't gone out and bought those games that, especially unboxed, like Exhaust Heat, you know.
Yeah.
It's not an amazing game or anything, but when I was a kid, this was one of my favourite games.
Okay, that's fair enough.
My Super Nintendo collection, although not vast and not really any heavy hitters as such, for me, they're more the games that I actually played when I was a kid. Same as that F1 game. I mean, I was really into cars and racing games.
Nigel Mansell's as good on that.
Yeah, I've got the cart. So hidden behind here, because I made the mistake that so many people do.
Yeah.
I thought that I could be a cart-only collector.
Yeah.
I didn't need boxes. Who needs boxes, you know?
So
I've got loads of carts.
So you're going to get rid of a lot of those.
Yeah, I've been sort of systematically, one at a time, trying to upgrade the carts. So I've got a load of carts hidden away.
I think I started cart only for the NES, and then slowly realised actually this is one of my favourite consoles now. I want to get it boxed, and I think collecting cart only is okay if it's not your top favourite console to collect for. Yeah. And you don't want to spend loads of money on it, but you know, if it's one of your favourites, you want to go.
It's tough, isn't it? Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I've done it with all of them. I said I was only going to be a cart collector, no boxes. on the Nintendo stuff because it's so expensive and you can't get it. I can be quite particular with condition. Some of the things you're going to see today are not in the greatest of condition, and they'll be condition improved maybe one day. But for me, it was like, look, I can't get it perfect, so I'd rather just have the cartridge. That just flew straight out the window. And unfortunately, I'd made a load of investment into the cartridge. So something I always say on my channel is be absolutely sure what you're going to do when it comes to collecting, because otherwise you're going back and you're paying.
I know. We've all done it though, haven't we? We've all refined our collections over the years.
Absolutely.
I've done it so many times. Many times. And then we move on to the the GameCube collection.
Yes.
Which is quite substantial.
Yeah.
It was a great system, wasn't it? It was the most powerful system at the time when it came out.
Yes.
People didn't realise that, did they? Listen,
No.
I'll move over this way so you can show me. Any standout games in there, mate, that you like? Or?
Well, they're probably hidden behind some of these, because some of the... I mean, like Eternal Darkness there is one of my favourite. All three of them, really. I mean, all three of them are just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know, them three probably are three of the best games on the system. Obviously, you've got the Zeldas.
Metroid, I would say.
Metroid, well, you are a Metroid fan, aren't you?
Metroid fan, yeah. Super Smash Bros. Melee was excellent.
Yep. Yeah, and then we've got obviously...
Never played Metal Gear Solid on there. Was that any good?
Yeah, good game.
Was it?
Yeah. People love it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good game. The Mario Party 6 box, that was hard to... That was hard to come by in this sort of condition.
That's got the mic in there, hasn't it?
That's got the mic, and the game's really, really clean, and
that's nice,
the box itself, So I've got to get the other ones of these. There's a Four Swords one, is it?
There's that weird pinball one. I can't remember what it's called now. It's got a Japanese name, isn't it? It's got the microphone as well. But yeah, let's have a look at some of these other games in here.
Yeah, we've got all the Resident Evils.
Super Monkey Ball's classic. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. You know, that was the place to play it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Spy Hunter. Is that the same as the arcade game?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's certainly trying to be. Let's get that up for you. I think a lot of people talk about this game.
It's got the arcade version in it, hasn't it?
That's what I mean,
you
so have a look at that, mate.
Yeah. Has it got the music?
It's got versions of it. Yeah.
I'll have to go and pick that up, I think. Yeah, my GameCube collection is probably only about 10 games.
Yeah.
But there is some fantastic games on there.
Well, again, games like this, you know, I always talk about football and stuff because we did play a lot of football games. This is my original... My GameCube, my purple one, is the actual one I had as a kid. Yeah. And this was like a must-have game. That's why it's damaged and stuff.
That is an arcade conversion, isn't it?
Yeah. But for me, this was, when I was a kid, this was what I played, you know?
Yeah.
This were the games.
Yeah.
So I do have sports titles because I play sports titles.
Well, that's fair enough, mate, yeah. And then moving on to the amazing NES collection as well you got here. Look at these. I noticed in your last video you picked up quite a few new ones, didn't you?
What it is, Alex, is I've been trying to again convert unboxed to boxed. So I've got a few unboxed NES games there, and there's already I've just seen Tetris. I haven't took out of the unboxed, even though I have Tetris there. I have it there as well, so I've got to take that out and put it somewhere else, so get it up on the doubles and get it sold. But yeah, again, games I had. You know, you're going to see sports games. You're going to see, because I understand, you know, you want to get them big games, them popular games. But for me, it was, you know, games like DuckTales, games like Chip and Dale, RoboCop. You know, Days of Thunder. Everybody says how bad Days of Thunder is. I also agree. It's a terrible game. But the fact is I had that when I was a kid. I was devastated when I played it, but when I picked it up, I was absolutely blown away, artwork-wise and all that. But when I played it, I was completely devastated. But because it was a game I had when I was a kid, you've got to have them games.
Was there many other kids that had NES back in the day? Because I don't remember any.
Friends-wise, I can't remember. I remember people coming to play my NES because I had Super Off-Road with the 4-port. You know, thing with the 4 controllers. I remember friends of mine coming to play it, but like my cousin had a CDI. I know it was way after that. I'd had a Super Nintendo by then and stuff. But back then, no. I mean, my one of my best friends had a Commodore 64.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't play it. He came to mine and played the NES.
So are you talking sort of like 80s, early 90s when you were
I would have been about... I was probably a little bit behind the curve of how these consoles came.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been getting this on launch day. I mean, I was born in 1983.
Yeah.
So I was too young.
Yeah.
You know, so... But I had an NES. I would say... Well, it was in my old house, so I would say... I must have been about 9 or 10. I remember upgrading to a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I remember that. But the actual NES period, I know I had one. I know I played it all the time.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you how I acquired it.
Yeah,
I'd imagine it was a Christmas present or a birthday present. I'll have to ask my
because I only got into it recently in the last 10 years. You know, being a Nintendo collector, I thought, let's just delve into this. It's got such a fantastic library of games.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got some good ones here, though, mate. I mean, Excite Bike. I mean, every NES collector has to have this.
Yes.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I've recently found out that the Famicom disc version, which only came out in Japan, is the best version because it takes parts of the arcade version into the game as well. It's got a versus mode as well, which is really cool.
Well, these NES games, unfortunately, I struggle condition-wise because you can't. You know yourself. You know, how can you get them?
I know.
They're
What's Star
so
Wars
difficult.
like? Is that any good?
Yeah, it's all right.
I was thinking of picking that up.
It's. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Some of these, I don't want to be too down on these games. They only have a certain length of,
that's a classic.
play. Oh, brilliant game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely want that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Lovely, mate. Lovely. And then we got down here. What we got down here? These.
So this is these.
Oh, wow, this is Xbox.
Yeah, that's original Xbox. Yeah, that's all the original Xbox games I've got. And as for ones to pick out, obviously Fusion Frenzy.
Why are you picking that one out?
Just because it's such a good sort of co-op game.
Right, okay.
That
never had that back in the day.
No.
Death Fight, is it Def Jam? That was a brilliant game. You could just smash chairs over each other, couldn't you?
There was loads of things. The Burnouts are great games. The Xbox was more powerful.
Oh, I love Baldur's Gate. Oh, this is the one I used to play a lot. I used to love Crimson Skies.
Yep, awesome.
That was a fantastic game. Great two-player game. Kingdom, what's that one? I remember that one as well. Kingdom Under Fire, that was good.
Yeah, there was loads of them.
I like my sort of turn-based RPGs,
And then if you're into horrors,
Not so much.
Project Zeros are games that if you're into horrors, they're good. Obviously, Oddworld came to Xbox. It was an only on Xbox
Gaiden.
one. Yep.
That's just been released on the Switch. That is an awesome game. Rock hard. But I remember the first boss in that was like a guy with nunchuckers and he was just really hard to beat.
I do like picking up the only on Xbox ones.
Yes.
More horror
games. Did you go
games.
back to them a lot? Did you find it easy to go back to them?
I prefer to play Xbox games than PS2 games. I know that's a bit outrageous. It's going to upset people. Because I was an Xbox, I was into it. I had both, but I was really into Xbox.
It was a good controller when it came out, wasn't it?
The difference for me, the difference for me is when I had PS2, it was all about ISS.
Yeah.
Like all of the ISS games. Again, I'm going against probably the people you visited.
Yeah.
But I like the football games. And ISS, International Superstar Soccer, for me, throughout the PS2 period.
Mate, they're popular games for a reason. Yeah. People love them. Still love them to this day, don't they? I think it's what I find quite annoying with them. They just constantly update them. And you're paying big bucks for what? New T-shirts?
This was where the likes of Project Gotham Racing started.
Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that was a good one.
Great one.
I used to love that one.
Great one. Look, you will see some games in here that have been acquired through bundles.
The Thing, I enjoyed that.
The Thing, bit of damage there.
I see another one of my favourites down the bottom, Jade Empire. Can you pick that one out?
Jade Empire, where is it?
Yeah, that's it, next to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Just grab that one out, because that, to me, was quite similar to Knights of the Old Republic.
Yep.
Had a similar kind of game style. Awesome game.
Yeah, we
put a lot of time into that.
We got a few Star Wars.
Yeah.
We've got things like, amazing. Scott would be pleased with that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, House of Dead.
House
Kung
of
Fu
Dead.
Chaos.
He'd be pleased with that as well.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, it was a fantastic system, wasn't it?
We've got our
really cool.
We've got our little little collection. Everybody's got a little collection of retro gamer magazines, haven't they?
Well, I've got a huge collection, which I'm trying to offload at the moment. I've got far too many. And you never go back to read them, do you? You
don't. That's the problem. And we are...
You're in there.
I think we are actually in this one, if I can find it, which is likely that I won't be able to. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we are.
You are.
That was the old
excellent.
room.
Yeah. That's fantastic, mate.
So yeah, it was good to be in there, especially
so what was that, last year?
Yeah, it was really quick. Like when we came onto YouTube, it was like we was contacted by a guy off of Retro Gamer through Instagram, and it was a case of we want to come and we don't want to cut. It was nigh on just coming out of COVID. He said, you know, be lovely if you could take some pictures for us and do a bit of an interview. And I was like, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you know,
I've been in it a couple of times with me.
All right, mate. All right, calm down.
I know the procedure, mate. You know.
Yeah, so it was all good. All right, just like rain on my parade there. Cheers, mate.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, we got Xbox there, and then we got PS3. So we got quite a few PS3.
Well, I quickly pan round on the PS3. I mean, I didn't have a PS3, so I'm not really too up on the games.
Well, again, we're really into horror games. So again, we've got horror games.
Yeah, and these are the ones that hold their value most of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
We got games, I mean, everybody slates it, but... Yeah. You know, oh my God, there's a sticker on it.
Why would you slate it though? What would be
Everybody slates Sonic the Hedgehog on
okay.
PS3, and I just think you've got to give it more of a chance.
Yeah.
You know, people don't give it enough of a chance, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
there's
there's
so many games for it.
There's loads of games here. You know, games that people don't necessarily notice as much. Rambo.
Yeah.
Good game. We've got a few of the Ratchet and Clanks.
Yeah.
We've got, you know,
and these are quite cheap to pick up now, aren't they?
Some are, yeah. Some are. There are some that are rising.
Value, do you think?
Yeah, there are some that are rising, and there's some that have fallen. Yeah. They've really very much gone up and down.
Yeah. Right, Rob, this is a bit of a centrepiece here. You've got a Xbox 360 kiosk.
I have indeed.
Where did you find it, and why have you got one?
Well, there's a video on that, Alex. Not that there's a shameless self-promotion, but there's a number of videos on how I acquired this Xbox 360 cabinet. I went to Liverpool to get it. Bought it from a charity, so I was doing my bit for charity. I felt that I really wanted to get... I mean, Xbox 360 to me is super nostalgic because for me, I was into games, then I had a big break, got married, did all the rest of the stuff, and then Xbox 360 came out, and it was like... Oh, I've got to get one. And it kind of got me back into gaming.
Yeah.
And I talked to a lot of people and they agree. It seems like a very common thing that it was the Xbox 360 that got you proper, you know, properly back into gaming. And, you know, I had an Xbox and I didn't take it seriously. When Gamerscore came, because I think that's kind of what it was.
It's your competitive side coming out.
That competitive side again. Yeah. That was when we got back into it. So I remember this kiosk more than any other. I mean, look, I'd love a Gamecube kiosk. Let's not, you know.
I'd love a Vectrex and a Super Nintendo
let's not kid ourselves here. If there's one thing I like, it's honesty.
Yeah.
I would love one of them kiosks.
Yeah.
But this, for me, is probably... No, it is. It is the most nostalgic kiosk for me. So, went to Liverpool, picked it up. Really wanted to get one with the artwork and that, because a lot of that artwork goes missing off of a lot of them. Had to have it with the original TV because the Samsung TV, although that one's a bit glitchy. When I got it, it had no keys. There's a series on there. There's only like 3-4 video series about drilling the locks out, and I needed to. I've made it so that one cable allows it to be a kiosk or a game, you know, play normal games.
Okay.
So a quick change and you're in. You know, literally it's two keys. You open it up and you're in. You pull the plug on it and it goes back to being a normal thing. And we've had Halo in here. We've had Gears of War in here. We've had Racing Gate. We've had Forza in there. We've had loads of different things.
It's quite nice because you could have. It's almost like having a little arcade machine here because you're standing up and you're playing, which is not normally what you do with a 360. Everyone sits on their couch, don't they, to play games. But having something like this, I imagine with maybe an arcadey type game in it, like Street Fighter or a shoot 'em up, would work really well in here.
Well, even the Mega Drive collection, came out on it as well. You know, you've got some of them classic games. There's a load of collections. That came out on the 360.
Yeah.
And you know, I had Project Gotham. I love Project Gotham Racing. It's one of my favourite games. Project Gotham Racing 3 and 4, and you know, I've had them in there, and it's brilliant.
And does
just
it keep
to give
the
it a
high
blast.
scores on there as well?
Yeah. It's all when you take it back to that mode, it's a normal Xbox.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you get to save everything that you want to save. So it's all.
Well, it's fabulous.
It's all good, but I wouldn't swap it. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't swap it for any of the other. Well, no, I would, and then I'd probably buy one of these again. I'd sell it and buy one of these again. But
I mean, I got offered a Super Nintendo one. I don't know, a few years ago. And I looked at it, the price he wanted was a lot of money, £2,000. And I looked at the actual machine, it was just a normal Sony Triniton TV that you could pick up for 50 quid. And a wooden pedal stool that'd been painted black with a Super Nintendo stuck to it. I just thought, that is a lot of money just for something like that, really. Do I really want it?
Well, this, I mean...
But that is something else.
You've got the lights, you've got the shapes, you've got the bits,
the LED lights down the side look really cool. Really cool. I mean, there are some kiosks that look amazing. The Vectrex one is amazing. I think that looks cool. But yeah, mate, that's a nice feature in the room. Yeah, it's nice to have that.
Well, rather than drive the audience mad, do you want me to turn that noise off?
No, it's all right, mate. No, it adds to the atmosphere of the room.
All good. Right.
So look, we've got more Sega here. You've got more Sega than Nintendo. What's happening, mate? Come on.
Yeah. I don't know what
because it's cheaper, isn't it? It is.
There is an element that is cheaper. Yeah. Although there's plenty of cheap Nintendo games out there, mate. Plenty of cheap. Super Tennis, you know, it's under a tenner.
Yeah, but generally a Sega collection is easier to collect for and complete than a Super Nintendo collection.
I'll tell you what it is for me, it's the condition side of things. To get the right condition, or the condition that I want in a Super Nintendo game, is a lot more difficult than getting the condition that you want in a Mega Drive game. Because the Mega Drive and the Master System stuff, unfortunately, it was just built better being in the plastic cases. Yeah,
I'll go along with that. It's plastic. Not good for the environment, though, is it?
It's anything with you, isn't it? It's literally anything.
At least Nintendo were thinking about the environment.
That is exactly what they were thinking.
The cardboard's going to deteriorate and the planet's going to be saved. Whereas Sega weren't thinking about that, let's face it.
Yeah, I wonder what they were thinking with these thick, heavy old Gamecube cases. Yeah, I wonder what they were thinking with that.
Well, let's have a look at the Mega Drive collection. Again, it's all PAL.
Yep, no Japanese, not one Japanese. Oh no, there is an American. There is one American game.
This is a game I'm dying to get. I really want to play this version because this is more true to the arcade version, right? Than the Super Nintendo version. Even though that game is great in its own right. Splatterhouse 2 I would love to have. That is a great game. Dragon, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan, so Dragon. This did come out on the Super Nintendo actually, but I wouldn't mind
come out on so much.
Streets of Rage, obviously, it's the one that everyone goes on about. It's okay. Finally, I've got some Tower Plan games here. A nice Fire Shark. That is a classic conversion of the arcade game. Streets of Rage 3, and we've got Castlevania. Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, it's not...
You're not big Castlevania
I like Castlevania. I do like Castlevania, but I really like the original Castlevania, that's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, I played this for my channel, actually. I really enjoyed that, Subterranean. So the Blue Spines come out later, didn't they? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, it was like a sort of special edition type thing, wasn't it? They're trying to stick out maybe a bit more.
I never heard of that one.
Because you had all the black. I mean, the black spines, if we're being honest, the artwork's lovely, but they're not very bright. As soon as you get to that blue spine goodness, as the Sega Zombie would call it, you know, they're so
I prefer the black ones, you know.
You don't like any anyway, Alex. Come on.
No, I do like the Mega Drive. It's, you know, it's that sound chip I like. I mean, I love the Super Nintendo sound chip.
That one? You ever played Twin Hawk? It's another shooting.
Is that a type playing game? No, I don't think it is.
It's another shooter though.
Yeah.
And people like it. I love that game.
I haven't played that. I'll have to get that one.
You have to get it.
Yeah.
Get it played, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I've started a Mega Drive collection, but it's Japanese import ones I'm collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a Master System collection as well. Are you going for a full set or?
Yeah, I'd like to at some point. Yeah, I would like to at some point. But again, it's so hard to get them where they're not damaged.
Yeah. Scott was going on about this game as being one of his favourites, wasn't he, in his latest video? Yeah, what is it, an RPG? Or was it like a
No, it's like a... I'm not even going to say, mate. It's probably best I don't say.
Why? Why?
You and your Castlevania stuff. It's probably best we leave that.
This is a game that would be right up my street. I do love the Ninja Gaiden series.
Yeah.
So cool. Anything Ninja back in the 80s was cool though, wasn't it?
Definitely. Well, the films that went with it as well, you know.
Wonder Boy.
Yep.
Outruns.
The worst, possibly the worst joystick.
See, this game I loved. Me and my brother played that all the time. Not on the Master System, on the Mega Drive. Yeah. I loved that game. Yep. It was so cool. And this, I love Rampart. I think it's a fantastic game. Well underrated. Yeah. The problem I have with Sega Master System games, alright, I'm picking out ones here, but some of the covers are really crap.
I knew you was going to say about the covers, and then you pick out one that's got a good cover.
That's actually quite good.
What about that cover? Look at that.
I don't like the Flintstones anyway.
Great game.
Okay, they've all got okay. I'm trying to pick
you
out.
will,
Yeah,
look,
it is a really. Look at what
the
hell is that? It looks like an educational cartridge, doesn't it? What the hell is going on there? I mean, who was responsible for doing the artwork for these games?
You found one in the end, didn't you? I mean, it took you about 10 to find your bad one, but you did find one.
We've got a gold limited edition N64.
Yep.
Atari Jaguar. Now, what have you got an Atari Jaguar for? Come on, tell me.
Probably
we ain't got to the
Alien
games
versus Predator. Yeah, it's probably the only. I haven't got many Atari Jaguar games.
No.
Again, we've got issues with the cardboard. You know, you can't get them in as good a condition. I've only got 2 Atari Jaguar games. I'm dying to get another one, which is Power Drive Rally, which I love. I think it's the best game.
And are you into any of the homebrew games? Because there's some fantastic homebrew games on the Jaguar. No, Jeff Minter's made some brilliant games for it.
Yeah, the problem is I feel like I've got so many games to get original that I haven't even really looked at homebrew. But I do know that Jaguar is one of the ones that is still going strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'm happy to try them out, but I don't.
I nearly delved into it. I bought 10 and I bought the controller and I never got around to it. I just never got around to it. I did fancy it though. It does look cool. And then we've got a PS2 collection up here. This has got the most boringest spines ever. It just looks... Do you know what I mean? But I know it is one of the biggest and best selling consoles ever made.
Of course, yeah.
Isn't it? So, you know...
Yeah, and I mean, look, there are some foddery games in there, you know, because we've and like we always advise on the channel, you know, because we try and advise people, if you want to be a collector, you've got to do certain things.
Yeah.
And one of those is buy bundles.
Yeah.
And what we will do eventually is sift through some of these. Once we've run out of space, we'll sift through and get rid of some of them.
Yeah.
But you get a bundle and you feel like you don't want to pass the game on. You know, you think, well, I've got the space, why not put it in the collection?
Keep it for now.
Keep it for now, and then when the space is full, I mean, things like, you know, like Happy Feet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So is that space allocated specifically for PS2?
This is PS2,
and if you get any more, one goes out, one comes in.
I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
We've kind of not done that. Just panning to your right slightly there.
Yeah.
You'll see that we've kind of not done that, Alex. So thanks for pointing that out,
maybe an extension.
But yes, we are going to do that. We're going to get rid of things like Happy Feet, and we're going to replace them with good games. But we've got we've got some great games. You know, Silent Hill 2, for example, which people absolutely love. What's
your favourite game in there? You know, maybe most expensive game. I know.
Most expensive game is probably that one, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. That's the PAL one.
This on the Wii. It's come out on the Wii.
Yeah.
I had a sealed copy of that.
Yeah.
And I did open it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Nice to know. Nice to know. So yeah, best games would be, I mean, things like, unfortunately, the ISS stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, and there are better games, I'm not saying that's the best game, but for me, what I played when I was a kid, I was obsessed with ISS.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it was another one of them Street Fighter competitions. When I was that age, if you couldn't play, and there'd be people out there that agree here, if you couldn't play ISS, like you was measured on how good you was at ISS, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so we played it to death.
Yeah.
You know, I had a silver PS2. That's my original silver PS2, and I still and it just got hammered, absolutely hammered, for ISS. The God of War games, obviously.
Let me have a look.
Yeah,
at
get
your
in there,
collection.
mate.
Right,
Get
so
in
the
there.
ones I would pick out, what I remember playing on the PS2 would be Devil May Cry's.
Yeah, of course.
I love those type of games.
You mean you didn't play this classic?
American Chopper. No, that would be right up my street, wouldn't it? Being a bike game.
Yeah, exactly. There you
A
go.
load of crap, though,
American Chopper. Lovely game.
Is it? No,
I'll let you find out, mate. I'll let you find out.
What else you got?
You into a bit of 50 Cent as well?
No, not at all.
Not into 50 Cent now? No.
I'm a rocker, mate. Rocker at heart. Grand Theft, obviously, was the game, wasn't it? That everyone was playing?
Of course, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It's just been released onto the Switch. It's got terrible reviews. Gun.
Yep, great
I
game.
I remember playing that one. What else we got? God, we've got the Metal Slug collection on there, I remember.
Yeah,
Manhunt.
Things like Manhunt, which was a big game. This is the only disc-only game I have. It's hidden in here.
Is that...
Because I have Manhunt 2, which is actually a desirable game.
Oh, right.
It's not, it's maybe a £40, £50 game. But I found that in a PlayStation that I bought. So always, when you're buying stuff, always check the trays.
Yeah.
And that was a little gem. Unfortunately, no cover though, or it would have been a £50 gem.
Nice.
That's my only disc-only game I own on PS2.
I remember when it came out on the Wii, and you used the nunchuck control, and you actually had to strangle people with it.
Yes.
Like.
Oh yeah.
Which I found really odd to be on a Nintendo console, that you actually could do that. Yeah, that's supposed to be awesome.
You're an Outrun fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
But
I do like Outrun.
These were the ones for me. Pro Evo.
Yeah.
These were the football games, but you know, it's you won't. It's not everybody's, you know. It's not everybody's cup of tea, is it?
No, but I appreciate it, mate. Oh no, let's move on to some Nintendo stuff again. Look at this.
You're back where you belong.
Yeah, I feel at home here. The Wii. I don't know about this though, being at the front. What's going on?
Well,
here?
no,
This is
actually quite interesting. You can see from my figure that this is sealed, of course. So this is sealed. I've left some. I got this. I think this was like at a boot sale or something, and it was like. Oh.
So
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was in a bundle. It was another one of the bundles, and it came in a bundle. I was like, oh.
So you are a sealed collector.
I'm not a sealed collector.
You are. You've got a sealed.
On,
you asked this to me when you did my game room tour.
I did, but I'm not a sealed collector. But I do have Zumba Fitness sealed.
Are you hoping for that to go up in value then, do you think?
Oh, that's going to be worth tens of thousands. That's going to be worth.
See, there's Manhunt on the Wii.
Manhunt 2, yeah.
Manhunt 2, yeah, I had that. I was quite shocked what you had to do in that. Mario Galaxies, I mean, they're just absolute classics, aren't they?
Yeah, we have got, unfortunately, with the Wii, I'm sort of using it as a storage area. There are as many doubles, or not many, but there's a few doubles.
Just got to pick that out, guys. Awesome game.
I wonder what's made you pick that one out.
Yeah.
Good
awesome
old
game.
House of Dead Overkill.
Oh, there, Ghost Squad's a great game.
Yep.
Great shooting. They had some fantastic games on the Wii.
Everybody talks about these Conduit games.
That's
Sega again, Mad World, Sega again.
Yeah.
You're drawn to that Sega, aren't you?
Just remember they are working for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then we've got a Wii U collection.
Yeah, this is really Joe's. I mean, Joe focuses on. She's trying to get the Wii U full set eventually.
Right, okay.
But it's a
You've
very,
really got
very
into
slow.
games now, then, mate, haven't you?
Yeah, very, very slow process. We're not in any rush.
Resident Evil. I sold my Wii U collection, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have the space for everything.
No.
And a lot of the games got converted over to the Switch, so I thought I'll just do away with it now.
Yeah.
All the games I want to play, like Smash Brothers, you know, and the Marios, are all on the Switch. So I just thought I'd get rid of it, really.
That was more gamer than collector.
Yeah, it is in space, you know.
Yeah.
Having that constantly set up, all the wires and everything.
You could sell your arcade machines, couldn't you?
No,
you could
you couldn't do that, mate.
Oh,
couldn't do that.
No worries. Yeah.
Sega Saturn collection. Got a Japanese one up there, which is really nice.
Yeah. So
this is not a cheap system to collect for, is it?
No. Although again, we've got a couple of big ones, but nothing major. There's a lot of the games that you would have played as a kid.
Yeah.
That I played as a kid, and that's what we tend to do. Sega Rally is my favourite game.
Yeah.
I only have 3 Japanese games, and there they are.
Yeah.
King of Fighters, obviously, the real bout stuff, and then
awesome game.
And then and then the only way really to play
I think
the best way. Forget that Spectrum stuff.
Yeah, if I was to collect Saturn, it would be Japanese, and I have thought about it, but they're pricey games as well, aren't they?
Well, this is our really Signosis development kit as well. There's a video for that. We found that out there.
Oh, really?
Found that out in the wild.
What's the story behind that then?
Well, we was just out sort of looking for games, and then we thought we'd go to a house clearance shop that's pretty local, and it was sitting there on the side.
Right.
And it was like, wow, how can you, like, how is it that we can find this in a place? Yeah. So when it boots, it's all Signosis.
That's incredible. That is a lovely item, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Relatively irreplaceable.
Have you looked into it on
yeah,
the
we tried to look into it. Reached out, or the Sega Saturn, the head of the Sega Saturn Facebook group, I believe, reached out.
Yeah.
Said, look, you've got an amazing thing there.
Yeah.
You really want to look after it, and tried to give us some information. There isn't a lot of information out there on it.
Yeah.
So in comments or whatever, if you know anything about it, then
did you have anyone wanting to buy it off you? Or
there was a couple, but there's no real. We got it for such a steal.
Yeah.
I don't sell things, Alex.
No, of course you don't. There's no point.
Sell things, mate.
Yeah.
So
because you don't need the money, because you've got Vectrex. You must
there
be
you
really
go.
rich.
I haven't got 2. I haven't got 2 like you, but I have got 1. Yes.
And that's running a multi-cart, is it?
This is just the standard game that it comes with. I haven't plugged the cart in, but I have got a multi-cart, yes, and I have 1 game.
Yeah, Scramble, which is what you picked up recently.
Ah, there you go. See,
well, see I do
you are
watch
paying
your
attention.
videos.
Yep, you are
paying
watch
your
attention.
Videos.
So I have 1 Vectrex game. I bought the Vectrex. It was another it was a fantastic deal. It was broken.
Yeah.
I reached out to the Vectrex. I think I paid about £100 for it. I reached out to the Vectrex community on Facebook. They was really super helpful.
Yeah.
Said it's a chip. There's a chip. I bet it's a chip. There was a load of bets going on about what it would be.
Yeah.
And it turns out, cleaned it all up, stripped it down, cleaned it all up, replaced that chip, and it came into life. And
I couldn't live without mine. I love mine. But then I do have a Vec Fever cart.
Yeah.
But there is the Pytrex now, which is coming out, which is. It's enabling you to play the main arcade games on it, which is what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
And it just adds that much to the console. There's some fantastic homebrew games on it.
Yeah.
But there's not enough being released to keep most people interested. But having that Pytrex or the Vec Fever cart just adds that so much more.
I'll have to look into one of them carts. I mean, the sound, that buzzing, it does. I know you can get things to, but then you're kind of taking it away from original.
No, I don't think you're not tapping into its potential.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I like the way you word things, Alex. You're definitely, you're definitely better at wording things.
What else? We've got the Virtual Boy, and you've got a Panasonic Cube as well.
Panasonic Cube, with the controller there. This controller now is becoming quite a rare thing, apparently, because obviously the people leave batteries in them, and it breaks them, and the acid leaks out and stuff. So whenever you buy, if anybody's out there buying a Panasonic Q, make sure you try and get the remote control.
And did you import this, or was this something that we found
No, I bought
it
from here. This has actually been modified. It's a bit dusty. It's got the HDMI. So this is HDMI out, and it's got a switch to play US and Japanese games and stuff. So, yeah.
Lovely. And the Virtual Boy, have you got a collection for that, or
not really. I've got 5 games. They're there.
Yeah.
This is Japanese ISS, so we do have a few.
Right.
They called it Win an 11 over there.
Nice.
Yep. So that's our 1 Panasonic Q game. And then we've got.
Has Jo played the Virtual Boy?
Yeah.
What does she think?
I think she enjoyed it, but it was like it's all down there, isn't it? You've got to get it at the right angle and stuff.
You can strap it to your head with if you want to. But you do look an idiot. But
yeah. Bit dangerous, isn't it?
What games you got?
Just got the usuals really.
Yeah.
Tetris, Bomberman, Mario Tennis,
it's such
baseball.
It's such a small collection of Virtual Boy, but the last few are so expensive. Like Space Invaders is like £500.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Well, a friend of mine did lend me and offer me the Street Fighter game, which I know you've got. I ended up not, because it's homebrew, and I was
That's rich, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, just because it's homebrew.
I like the original stuff, you know. I like the original stuff.
You can get a multi-cart for it now as well.
Yeah.
Which is another way to go with the Virtual Boy.
And maybe that might be what I do with the Vectrex and with the Virtual Boy, just rather than invest all that
I would, and then
money.
concentrate on the ones that you really want to.
Yeah.
Right, should we move into the next room?
We can do, yeah. Have you seen everything you need to see?
I think so, yeah.
Well, we got the amazing Alex kid.
Yeah.
On the
What's
on the
amazing?
CRT.
Well, it's Alex. It's got to be amazing, I guess.
No, some people hate this game.
Do they?
Yeah.
This is on the Master System.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Well, we always have the Master System plugged into the CRT and the PS1.
Right.
And the PS1, you'll see, because of the gun, exactly why we have the PS1 plugged in. Right. Which is for them light gun games.
Yeah, and you love those.
But there's big things coming in this section.
Is there?
Big things. I don't know if you know Builder or anything. But there are big things coming. We're looking to build a removable sort of partition, you know, like a false wall here. It'll all be documented on the channel. Move the radiator to like a longer radiator here, and sort of block this in, because light, I mean, I hate these curtain things, and light is the devil in a games room. But we want to make it so that it still looks okay from the outside. You know, games have took over a little bit, but they haven't took over to the point where we're going to destroy the look of the house. Right,
well, that would be too difficult, taking a radiator and just putting a board over.
Yeah, we're gonna fit, and then I'm gonna try and put the TV at hand height.
Right.
For the gun
Insert it in the wall. Clever.
You know,
I like it.
You know, don't start copying.
You've got a great space here to play gun games and Wii games as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to centre it. Because at the moment, obviously, it looks like the window's not in the right place. Yeah. So I'm going to centre it. I'm going to put the TV there. We're going to get an arcade cabinet. Yes. When some geezer I know sorts it out eventually.
I'll sort you out an arcade cabinet.
We're going to get some sort of cabinet here. Super Hang-On, I was thinking.
What about Nintendo? Donkey Kong. You've got to have Donkey Kong.
So we're going to put something here, and then we're going to, and then this is going to be, and we'll put like little. We need more shelves, Alex. This is the problem. So we're going to build some more shelves here because we need more games. More games and more time to play the games. Yeah, we've probably not got enough time. But look, we got some spare shelves.
You have. So you could move these round. Absolutely. I mean, you could put these boxes in the loft, couldn't you?
We could, but you know.
You know, they're only boxes. How many PlayStation 3s do you need on show?
Well, come on. Yeah, this is the Chrome one.
You could fit 200 NES games in here and SNES games. You know, think of all that lovely Nintendo cardboard.
You are right.
You know.
You are right. But I want the, you know, when
out with the new, in with the old.
Would you have, when you came in, would you have been as, you know, taken aback if it was just boxes and boxes of
Nintendo?
Games? Well, yeah, maybe you would have. I've messed up there, and I've messed up there. You would have preferred that.
It is very impressive, Rob. I think it's absolute, and everyone collects in different ways. This is what I love about this hobby, and most people watching this channel. We all collect in different ways. There's no right or wrong way to collect games. It's your own taste. Yeah. And coming in here, I can see that you love all types of games.
It's
there's a lot of nostalgia here. There's games that you do like playing, and there's games that you just picked up because you remember them from back in the day. It may not play so well now, but it's a part of your life.
Alex, I've bought games that I know are bad. Yeah. Because I knew they were bad as a kid. Yeah. But because of that nostalgia, the artwork. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to think now. I mean, like, you're an arcade man. You know, was this a good?
No, it's terrible. I've got a copy of that. Yeah. Which is unusual for me.
See, I'm uncovering you.
Yeah, but for me, my worst games are on the Sinclair Spectrum because I remember buying them because we didn't get reviews of games back then. We maybe saw a screenshot and that was it. There wasn't the early Spectrum games I'm talking about. Before Crash really took off, it was really difficult to find out what the game was like. We literally bought the games on the cover. And there's a few games in my collection that I spent hours on trying to finish, and they were absolutely awful. They were rock hard and they were awful. Yeah. But I've kept them because I remember the pain and the heartache for me trying to complete them. Yeah. And one springs to mind, Jungle Trouble on the Sinclair Spectrum.
Not played it.
Awful game, terrible game. It has to be pixel perfect.
Yeah.
But it's on that shelf of mine because it made me so angry as a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's look. That you said it best, Alex. You know, I don't want to give you too much props or whatever, but it is, each collection is to themselves. That's why you love going. You know, you've gone round all these people's collections. I've watched a lot of them. You know, everybody's different.
Everyone's
different. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course there's not. Right, let's enter the second room. This is where all the action happens by the looks of it. You've got 3 big TVs here. And wow, Rob. My God. Look at all this goodness. Wow, mate, this is incredible. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Right, I'm going to start up here. Look at this. You've got all your minis up here.
Yep, all the minis.
Yeah. You're collecting them all by the looks of it. You've got the PC Engine, Core Graphics.
Yeah, I'm missing, I think I'm missing a couple.
You've got a lovely Game Boy collection. This is one system I haven't got many games for. Which I'd love to collect more for. Look at the box art. That's mint. Absolutely mint, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in quite nice condition, that one. So's the Super Mario Land, because that was my game. I mean, Super Mario Land back there.
That
was the game,
isn't it?
That was the game.
And 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the games that that I was sort of brought up on, you know, really.
Yeah. Never been into Pokemon, but I know they're highly collectible, aren't they?
Yeah, we had a, you know...
What's this? Reappearing again. This shitty game.
You'll find a few little reappearances, Alex.
Yeah.
You will find a few.
I love the way you've displayed them. Really nice display.
Yeah, there's plenty of space. I mean, look, loads of people say that, oh, you could fit so many more games. Well, we will one day, you know.
I like seeing the box art, though.
Yeah, that's what I
it's
try
like
and
saying in our video that you did of mine. You know, if you haven't got wall space for posters, what better to have the box art of the games on display?
I mean, Kirby's
lovely, mate.
Good
really
game,
nice.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, you've got Nigel Mansell on the Game Boy. Yeah.
Yep.
F-Zero.
Oh, I'm falling over it.
Excellent game. The Japanese version of that is really good.
Yep. Adam's Family, obviously, it's nice condition as well. Nice. We've got some 3DS. There's a load of 3DS behind that Resident Evil box.
I used to have that. Castlevania, brilliant game. Do you do much handheld gaming?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's always some batteries in one of these Game Boys.
Yeah. Have they been modded at all?
No, I've got a modded Game Gear, but not Game Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always some batteries in one.
Nice. I've got to get myself
this,
a Game Boy.
This music, if it ever comes on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Look at that screen.
Here we go.
We'll get there. There we go.
It's classic, isn't it? Okay. For me, it's Tetris on the Game Boy.
Absolutely.
That was just blaring out everywhere you went back in the day.
Super Return of the
really,
Jedi.
Really nice.
If you get the light absolutely spot on, you can kind of see the screen.
Well, you've got the multi-cart for the Vectrex there. You've got your Scramble.
There's my one pathetic
beautiful
Vectrex
box Mega Drive in fantastic condition. You've got a nice Nintendo Game & Watch.
Yeah, it doesn't work, unfortunately.
Is that the one you played back in the day?
No case.
Oh, no.
It's been through the wars.
Is it?
It's been through the wars, that has.
Yeah. And then we've got a lovely Game Gear collection. Is this something you had back in the day, Rob?
Yeah, I was a Game Gear, so I upgraded. As soon as I saw colour screen, that was it for me.
Yeah.
I felt as if I was upgrading. I know this is going to upset you again, Alex, but I felt as if I was upgrading with that. So these
until the battery life ran out.
Absolutely. But things like that, I mean, it's such nice condition.
It is a nice box, yeah.
Like, you know, and you was talking about box art.
And you've got Ninja Gaiden reappearing
again.
So it's definitely a favourite of yours,
Chase
isn't it?
HQ
Chase
over
HQ
there.
and Outrun.
Yeah, there's some lovely...
is that a console and a collection that's going up, do you find? Do you think collectors...
I don't actually think... I think some of the games are, but I don't think that it's sought after. I mean, there's games like Power Drive Rally again, which I'd love to have, but it's a very expensive game on it.
Yeah.
And there are a number of very expensive games on the Game Gear, but for the most part, it's an achievable. It's quite a small collection
quite a small collection to complete, is it?
The problem is, as usual, though, Alex, is that the condition. You know, if you don't mind condition, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're trying to get games as tidy, you know, as clean as you can, it's a real challenge because they're so thin and kids just ripped it open.
Yeah, yeah. Nice though, mate. Really nice. And then we've got more 360 games.
Yeah, this is the 360 section.
Yeah. So this is your favourite part?
Yeah.
Would
I
you
mean,
say
look,
so?
I love the 360. I prefer. I think I love the Dreamcast. You know, I'm a big fan of the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, what I was saying earlier with the kiosk, was that this was what kind of brought me back.
Yeah.
And that competitive edge.
Yeah, and are these games going up, do you think?
So yeah, there's a few. So Castlevania Collection, you know, it's going up. Like this is maybe a £40 game, I think.
Yeah.
Which for a 360 game,
It's quite a lot.
they are going up. I mean, it's not about the value really, is it? But I know they was on other consoles, but for me, the Dead Rising games, the zombie games, they were the 360 for me.
Yeah.
Capcom games. So many games on the 360, mate. So many games.
But do you find do you go back to them a lot?
Yes, I mean, I played Condemned earlier in the year. Yeah, I do go back to 360 games.
Do you go back to them more than the real retro stuff? Do you find?
No.
You don't?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
We're very like snippets of games.
Yeah.
So we'll play, like Gigawing, for example. We'll just play a bit of Gigawing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get heavily invested in the game.
Yeah.
With retro, I find you pick it up, you play it for a bit, and then you put it away.
Yeah, and that's what I like about retro,
Absolutely,
especially
same.
arcade games. You're going for high scores, and if you know, we haven't got as much time as we did when we were kids, right? To go back and replay all them would just take up so much time, wouldn't it? And
Well,
really, you're only completing a story, aren't you? You're not really going for a high score. It's almost like going back and watching a movie, isn't it? How many times can you watch the movie? Or a classic, maybe.
Yeah.
But a lot of them you wouldn't go back to ever again, would you, really?
Well, when I went back to Condemned and played that was about 7 or 8 hours to complete it. Heavy story. Obviously, I already know what happens, so I already knew about what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
But then we went back and we played some Call of Duty. You know, I introduced Joe to Call of Duty Zombies. There's a video where she's jumping and screaming and making all sorts of noises.
Yeah.
So we do. You know, we do. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. I am more pick it up, play it for a bit, put it down.
Unless it's a new game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
PSP collection?
Yeah, got a few PSPs.
And Vita?
PS Vita, yeah. My PS Vita collection isn't the biggest.
That's highly collectible now as well. I see a lot of YouTubers collecting PS Vita games.
Yeah,
quite a lot came out for it, didn't it?
They did. Yeah. It is getting that way.
Yeah.
And we've got, I mean, like Uncharted on it was brilliant. I mean, I don't know if you've played the Uncharted games. You probably haven't too much of it. Oh, you have.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And on the, I mean, unfortunately, they tried to bring in some of the touchscreen stuff that the Vita had on this, and that was a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a great game.
Yeah.
And Need for Speed on it as well. I know the Need for Speed games are on everything, aren't they? But the Vita's graphics, I mean, the PSP was a step up against the competition, big time. But then when the Vita came as well, it was like
so what
another
ruined
step
it
up.
for Sony then in the handheld market, you think? It couldn't just been Nintendo dominating, could it? It must have been something that they did with the Vita that just wasn't as good. Like you had the Game Gear, the battery life wasn't great, was it? Even though it was more superior in terms of graphics, colour.
I've probably got a bit of an out there view on this. I think that a lot of the Game Boy stuff, a lot of the Nintendo stuff, is pick up and play stuff, like we said. Are you really going to use a handheld, or do you really prefer to use a handheld when we're talking about long story-driven games? And I think the Vita concentrated on a lot of that side of things.
Stuff.
Where really, with a handheld, what you're doing, you know, you're picking it up, you play it, you put it down again. You're really going to hold that for 6, 8 hours?
But you could argue the Switch has got some of those big games on there now.
Yeah, but how many people play the Switch in actual handheld mode?
Yeah.
I know
some people
do.
going back and playing Oblivion. Is it Oblivion?
Yeah.
On the Switch.
Yeah. But I mean, are they playing it in docked mode or are they playing it in handheld mode? What I'm saying is that handheld, pick it up, play it.
Yeah.
Are you playing a game for 8-10 hours in handheld mode?
Yeah.
Be interesting to know. But that's my theory is that they really concentrated on graphics, but lost some of that playability, and Nintendo kept with that playability.
Yeah. Or maybe they just wanted to spend more time and more money investing into their main console, because Nintendo doesn't do that.
No.
They don't spend a lot of money, even though they're a big company and they've got plenty of money, I know they have. But they don't seem to invest a lot in the high-tech console part of their machines, do they?
No.
It's always...
They're always a generation behind, aren't they?
Never used to be, but they are now.
Yeah.
And maybe just having that handheld took up too much money and resources for them to continue.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Formula One, isn't it? You know, when you get a car manufacturer like McLaren, Mercedes, they will say when they're developing Formula One cars, they put less money into their road cars.
Yeah.
You know? And they have to choose one or the other.
Very interesting to theorise on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, loads of, not too many PSP games, but sort of, again, the ones I had a PSP as soon as it come out.
Yeah.
Ridge Racer, I thought, it blew me away graphically. It was absolutely amazing graphically. Of course, what we saw on the PS2 over there, Outrun 2006. Silent Hill again. Unfortunately, you're going to see, you know, these games go.
Got them on
it's
all
collector,
consoles.
mate. It's collector. Yeah. There's a collector side. We've got classics like Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, I haven't played
Absolute classics.
Is it?
Haven't played that, no. So we've got loads. Pro Evo. I mean, again, another one.
Yeah, Sega Rally, that is a good one. I've heard you're pretty good at that game.
The original one, yeah. But but Sega Rally on the PSP is a decent game. Yeah. I think it's a decent game.
Yeah.
We got the Street Fighters. There's a good chunk of good PSP games. Yeah, we've kind of gone for. We got some shockers again. They've come up in bundles.
Down here now? You got the N gauge.
Yeah, so I've got a
small failed handheld, wasn't it?
Yeah, these are my sort of smaller collections that I've got. Yeah. So, yeah, kind of it was a phone, wasn't it? Phone.
Yeah. Nice little boxes though, aren't they?
Yeah, lovely boxes. Yeah,
but you don't see these very often, do you? Coming up.
No. I had to get Colin McRae Rally.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's really cool.
Again, quite a rare combo.
Yes, I know they did something like this for the Gamecube, didn't they? That used to sit on top. I used to have one.
Yep.
And then down here we've got more 360 games.
We've got some Evercade stuff.
Evercade, yeah. I'm not sure about this. I don't get it, to be honest with you.
A few of them are still sealed, mate.
Are they?
Yeah, you've got one in your hand there.
Yeah. Aren't a lot of these they're not arcade ports, are they? They are console ports.
They're console ports, yeah. 90% of the time, anyway.
But a lot of people are collecting these now, aren't they?
Yep.
Pico. Yeah. Don't know, I'll have to give it a go. I've never tried one, so I can't really comment on it, to be honest with you.
Then we've got a couple of I've only got very minimal.
What are these?
CD32 games.
Oh, CD32.
I've only got 2.
Yeah.
The Amazing Sensible Soccer.
Yeah.
And then Roadkill.
That's another rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. And then we've got the 3DO games.
Yeah.
So Wing Commander, Need for Speed, all the...
Did you have a 3DO back in the day?
No.
That was an unusual...
No, Road Rash.
That is a classic on the 3DO, isn't it?
Yep.
Has that been ported to anything else since then?
Yeah, it's been Yeah.
Probably
Road
on
Rash
PS2
everywhere,
or
isn't
somewhere.
it, mate? Everywhere.
Yeah, but that 3DO version...
Oh, the 3DO version, I don't know.
No.
I don't know, maybe PS1.
Yeah.
I know there was a Road Rash on the PS1 theme park, but there's quite a few. You know, I like, again, we was talking about story games, but the old school story games.
Yeah.
Like Psychic Detective and D, I've got both of them. Both of them on the 3DO, so they're, you know, them sort of more story-based games as well.
CDI.
For the CDI, yeah.
Right, so it's a nice box, isn't it?
CDI collections down there. Yeah. I've got a few. Again, it's in the section of them. These are CDI games here.
Yeah.
Decent games. What have we got? Apprentice could be considered the best CDI game.
Right. Don't know anything about it.
I probably would say so. Another sort of video
Crime Patrol
game where you're going through shooting. It's actual recording.
Yeah. That's your awesome Dreamcast collection.
Yeah, we're going, as you've seen on the channel, we're going for a full set of Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
There's about another 10 that aren't here that are hidden away in my next pickups video.
So how many have you got of these then?
I think we're about maybe 170.
And what's the complete set?
216 maybe.
So about another 100 or so.
Yeah, I think we're actually about 60 off.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do the maths, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like Street Fighter's Third Strike is just an absolutely amazing game.
A lot of people say that is the best Street Fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very fast though, you know. Yeah. Well, I was used to the slower Street Fighters.
Shenmue.
Yep.
Wow. Is that sealed?
No, not sealed. We just, when I buy them, they sometimes will come in these things, game. And I just.
Oh, Res, I remember that. That was good. That was on a PS2, I think I played that.
Yeah, they put it on a few things again.
And that I played on the DS.
Yep.
Banjo. Is it Banjo?
Yeah, people say it. Yeah. I ain't going to correct you, mate.
No.
You can call it whatever you want.
Dino Crisis was a little bit like Resident Evil, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yep. And probably the best way of playing it. You know, games like Code Veronica as well were just awesome on the Dreamcast. Here we are smashing the place up.
That's all right.
Yeah, so again, I like to try and, I know once it's complete we won't be able to have these out.
Yeah.
But I do like to try and display games that I like the cover art of.
Yeah, no, it's a great way of doing it, mate. I really appreciate that. It just sets the collection off when you see a bit of the box art. And
then we've got the PS1, collection,
Loads.
And again we've got.
I mean, this was a fantastic system, wasn't it? Clock Tower.
Yeah.
That came out on the Super Nintendo, you know, or Super Famicom.
Yep.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
And what's it like? Pretty gory.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's not like the Clock Tower 3 is a fantastic game.
And this game.
It's not,
I wish they'd put this on the Switch or something. I'm itching to play this.
Yeah.
I really am. I've never played it. I know it is one of the best games ever made. But yeah, it's pricey, isn't it? That one.
Yeah,
now,
it can be, especially when it's all complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, you've got the. Oh. You might, you know, put that in the car on the way out.
Yeah.
Have some Castlevania music.
Yeah.
Big.
That's awesome. Trying to see some others here. Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, things like, I know the Saturn one's so expensive
Hill.
Now, but this Street Fighter collection.
Yeah.
You know, again, I am a Street Fighter man. I do like Street Fighter.
And this is going up in price now as well. PS1 it has been for a while.
Some of it, some of it, big time. And some of the other games that you wouldn't even. Let's try and think. I mean, things like even might be nostalgic for some people. Parappa the Rapper, you know.
Yeah.
Like these games aren't a $5 anymore.
Yeah.
Like they're all going up. It all seems like they're going that way. I mean, amazing games, like we forget them, but things like Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I used to play that.
You know, like DualShock compatible.
Yeah.
DualShock compatible.
I mean, you could pick them up in a charity shop for 50p, can't you still?
No, mate. They're not, you know, look, they're not particularly dear, some of them, things like that. They're very common games. But yeah, they've gone up. Something that I've just felt like I've had to collect, even though I've not really had a lot to do with them, and I didn't play them when I was a kid. Oh, the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, they've always been expensive though, haven't they? So have you got a complete set?
No, we are missing a couple.
Right.
But you feel like I'm kind of.
You need to have them in the collection.
Yeah, to be deemed a real collector. Yeah, you kind of.
I think you really are a true collector, mate, and a gamer. Because you've got a big couch down here, I can see you get some gaming in.
Yeah, we're always doing a bit of gaming.
Yeah.
But this is quite a rarity. Well, it's not a rarity, I don't suppose, but this was it's a PS2 with the screen combi.
Oh right.
It was built in. It was for Richer Sounds in the UK. Were the ones that put it across. So you don't see them as often, especially with the remote as well. It's, the only difference to the remote to a normal one is that it says PlayStation there.
Oh,
okay. And it commands a little bit more to have the remote with it.
Are they quite rare then, or?
I don't like using the word rare, you know, because you will get one if you spend the money.
Yeah, uncommon.
Yeah, you know, the Psygnosis development kit, very rare. You're probably not going to find one. the Astral Blue PS2, very rare. You can buy it, but it's going to be difficult. This you can probably buy. I haven't looked on eBay, but they will be available. Couple of £100, few £100. So I wouldn't say it's rare. It's just not. You're not going to go into every game room in the UK and see one. Yeah, you're not going to see one in every game room.
Yeah, people do use that word. They do overuse that word rare, don't they? I think I can use it a few times in my collection.
You've got a couple of bits, haven't you? You've got a couple of bits, that are just bordering rare.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got that. We've got the amazing Sega Saturn steering wheel just sitting there on its own for the Sega Rally games. That's my original box from my silver PS2 that's around the corner.
Awesome.
So, you know, I didn't just become a game collector.
And you've got them all set up down here. So you've got 360, the Saturn, SNES, the NES, the Wii U.
Yep, we've got a Gamecube and a Wii there. We've got PS2, PS3. That is a backwards compatible, so I haven't got a PS1 plugged in. I've got both options to play the PS1 and this to play the PS1 on. We've got Atari Jaguar, Saturn, Mega CD, combo, like everything. All of these, the brilliant thing about them is that with a press, they all run through an OSSC.
Yeah.
So it's all upscaled, and some people won't like that, but you know, I do like to try and get them when it's not on the CRT as nice as you can. And they really are. It is a case of switch one off and switch the other one on.
Oh, right.
You know, we're in a position where all I need to do is press a button on the OSSC, really, and any one of these consoles will come on. I mean, if I wanted to, for example, say I'm turning the Jaguar off and I want to play CD32, which has got the dodgiest way of putting it on, little switch on the back.
Comes straight up. This is what I need in my games room.
Yeah, we're up and running, you know. Yeah. And everything is very sort of immediately able to be played.
Accessible.
Yeah. So, and it's the same with these, like I say, a little button on the OSSC and we're up and running.
Fantastic, mate.
Any of them, really.
Well, I'm going to sit you down now and we're going to get through some questions, because you asked me some very difficult questions when you came to my place. I think I need to return the favour.
They were easy questions, Alex. They were easy questions.
Right, Rob, fantastic collection. Oh my God, so many awesome games, amazing setup of consoles, so many different consoles. You're a proper gamer. But where did it all start for you? Was it in the arcades? Was it console?
It was console, definitely. It was NES, like I said. It was Mario. It was no idea how I ended up with an NES, but I know I had one. It was Super Off-Road. And it wasn't Super Off-Road from the arcades. I remember Super Off-Road in the arcades with the free steering wheels or, you know, the round fit. But it wasn't that, you know. I was too young to go to the arcades then. I really was.
You can't remember, really, if you got it for a Christmas or birthday present?
I cannot remember.
No.
I honestly, it would have been, but I honestly can't remember. I think I was a little bit behind the curve when it comes to, because obviously I was born in 1983. You know, I remember having an NES but not getting it. So maybe that was on the cusp of maybe 5, 6, 7 years old sort of thing. Yeah. And then went through the consoles from there. But arcade-wise, I was always a driving game person. Yeah. And that was because my dad had a rally car. We was really into cars. We're from Essex, so we're into cars anyway, you know. And so it was all about racing.
Do you remember any of the old arcades back in the day? Because I'm a little bit older than you. For me, it was all about Space Invaders. You know, when we first saw that, I knew straight away this is what I wanted to get into.
Space Invaders is sort of past, you know, I didn't really play, is it Galaxian?
Galaxian, yeah.
Yeah, that was, I used to think was Space Invaders.
Yeah. Did you think that was old though back then?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
So you didn't really spend a lot of time on it?
Yeah, so then when you looked at Space Invaders, it was like, what are these blocks in front of me? You know, get these out of the way.
Yeah, because I can see like when you came to my room, you saw these old games, and you're probably thinking, there's not a lot of replay value in that old stuff, but when you're brought up into it, and
it's
not
challenge.
Just the nostalgia, because I remember queuing up to play Space Invaders at a swimming pool with my mates. I vividly remember it. There is a lot of nostalgia going back, but you get into the game a little bit more with these old games. It is a high scoring thing, but for you being that much older, it is harder for you to get into, I guess, because you were brought up a different time when Street Fighter was the next big thing.
Yeah, and the fact that obviously you didn't, you didn't have you haven't got Street Fighter in your arcade, have you? You got the more older machines. Like, the first machines I remember seeing in the arcade were the likes of that, and then Ridge Racer. I mean, Sit Down Ridge Racer, really, I think back and I think to myself, I mean, I don't even know when that would have come out, but I really remember vividly Sit Down Ridge Racer. I mean, we went to a caravan park of a weekend. It was a very common thing for us, and they had arcades there.
Yeah.
And that was where we played arcades. I mean, my first arcade machine, actually, the first arcade machine I played, the first arcade I completed, was Double Dragon, which obviously is one of them sort of fish shop, chip shop cabs, whatever you want to call it, type thing. You do get it in there.
Yeah.
And so Double Dragon was big. Was big for me. But then there was a massive gap, and then there was Street Fighter, there was Mortal Kombat, there was Virtua Striker, probably not your thing, but Virtua Striker.
I remember them, but I didn't pay. I think because consoles had caught up with the arcades.
Yes,
then. For me, it was all about the Super Nintendo.
Well, what we didn't have in the consoles were those. I know we did, but the steering wheel's not the same. So that was why it was such an event when you went to the arcades to play those racing games. For me,
well, they revived the arcades, really. I mean, a lot of people don't like Street Fighter because it kind of ruined the kind of classic era, but really the classic era was dying out. Our operators were smashing these machines up because they weren't making any money anymore. The only way to bring new kids into the arcade was a new game, and Street Fighter was the game. You got pretty good at it, didn't you? You're a pretty good player.
I think I was. I do struggle now. Look, Ali's got it, like I said.
So you're one of the old guys like me now.
I get the modern. The thing for me is Street Fighter was always like a tactical thing.
Yeah.
I know if that character's going to jump at that point, if I press this button, it's likely that I'm going to hit them.
Yeah.
And back then, you knew. If someone picked to be Chun-Li, you knew what they was going to do.
Yeah.
You knew they was going to try and jump on you, do the fast kick, and then you're going to die or whatever. But you knew that was what they was going to do.
Yeah.
So you would step back, or you would come forward, or there was tactics.
Yeah.
But I think that what happened was that it turned into a bit of a button mashy type.
Yeah.
Like I'll beat you. When Tekken came and stuff, fighting games become very button mashy.
And do you think they're like? And what do you think the modern fighting games now?
I don't really play them, mate.
You don't?
No, I don't play modern fighting games at all.
No.
I think that, again, it doesn't feel as if there's tactics to it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are.
Kids would argue that, though, wouldn't they?
I'm sure there are tactics to it.
There's a lot of people playing Guilty Gears and, the modern Street Fighters and...
It seems more to me that people are more concentrating. I don't know if this is a thing of youth, but like, I can be Terminator in the Mortal Kombat game. Or I can be this, or I can be that. It's all character based, where in the old days we was happy with our characters.
Yeah, maybe too much selection. Yeah. Too much option.
Yeah, you don't need 1,000. And look, let's be honest, why are they doing it? They're doing it so that they can sell kids these characters.
Yeah.
But reality is we was happy with Ryu or Ken.
Yeah.
That was it. If you was Ryu or Ken, you was either Ryu or Ken.
Yeah.
Any less than that, if you're going to come in being Blanca trying to electrocute us and all that, no, we're not accepting that. Chun-Li was a bit of a cheat for me. E-Honda, bit of a cheat.
Yeah.
You like stop with the slappy hands.
Yeah.
You need, for me, it was Ryu Ken. So.
Yeah. So a lot of this collection in here is not from back in the day. It's something you've been into recently. What would you say, in the last 10 years?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are items that are before that, and I think we picked out a few, and there are loads more. But I didn't have a CD32 when I was a kid.
No.
My cousin had a CDI, so my CDI collection is absolutely from, I'll try that or I'll try this.
Yeah, just seeing other YouTubers.
Yeah, it wasn't from
games
nostalgia at all.
Yeah.
Mad Dog McCree, I was blown away when I went to his house and saw Mad Dog McCree, so I had to have that.
Yeah.
But the other games, Apprentice, I didn't play when I was a kid. I don't. But it was a good game. It was known as a good game. I didn't have a Jaguar. I didn't have a 3DO.
Is it just curiosity for you then, just to pick them up and just see what they're like?
And the collector in you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that have got things like PC engines and stuff. They didn't have them when they was a kid.
No,
Some did.
I didn't.
No, and you have to sort of have it because
they've got great arcade conversions on there, which I like. And I like. And the great thing about this hobby, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of games.
Yeah.
That no one can say they've played them all.
No.
And there are hidden gems out there. that you missed back in the day. It's almost like music. I find myself going back to 80s bands that I couldn't get into back in the day because we were too narrow-minded that you had to be one clan or the other. You had to be a punk or new romantic, and nothing else would do. It was similar back then, you know, with the SNES and the Mega Drive console wars. I'm not playing Mega Drive. It's, you know, it's not as good as Super Nintendo, but of course it's a good machine. Every machine's got 20 good games on it, right, and worth going back to.
Yep, of course.
So it is interesting to see these consoles and find out what games run it, because some games play better on other consoles that didn't do so well. You know, like the Final Fight that you got on the Mega CD is a fine example of a great arcade conversion, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So you've been collecting these games for the last 10 years? You've amassed this collection?
Yeah.
Can you see it getting any bigger? Would you like to see it bigger? Just keep expanding?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
We've got shelves to fill.
Shelves to fill.
Shelves to fill. Yeah, I would love a Dreamcast full collection. That's what we're doing, you know, on the channel. I would love Master System full collection.
Yeah.
But as for full collections past that, I don't think so.
No.
I think what will happen more is those desirable games, those games that I'm really looking for, will overtake some of the fodder. You know, like in the corner, I can see Big Bass Fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You haven't got the fishing rod for that?
No, not
It's not a bad game, though.
Come on. But, you know, we don't go back and play Big Bass Fishing on the PS1.
Well, if I was a fisherman, I might.
You might. I don't. You know, and we've got other games like Austin Powers. I'm seeing again Austin Powers Pinball.
Yeah.
Am I really playing that game? No, I'm not. So
no, but you'll move them out in due course when the cream comes in.
Yes.
You move
there'll be some more
cheese
games
out.
And I've always got a list. You know, we've spoke about hoarder and you know, there's been these sort of conversations going on. You know, are you a hoarder and stuff? I work from a list.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk was if you haven't got a list, you're a hoarder because you're buying everything.
Yeah.
Well, I generally I've got over 50 items in my list. You know, I would love to get a 32X. I don't have a 32X. You haven't seen one here because I don't have one. It will probably be like the next console-based item. But games-wise, you know, I have to obviously get some of these Dreamcast heavy hitters, the expensive ones. And I've been looking for Buggy Run for a long, long time on Master System. There's loads. I need the Japanese Power Drift, which you'll know obviously about from your arcades. You know, the arcade stuff. There are games that I know I need.
Ending,
you know,
though,
it never ends.
It's a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
And how would you advise collectors to go about collecting? There is no right way, I guess, is there really?
No. I mean, what I would say is that there's a lot of people that believe, you know, the Xbox 360 will never become particularly desirable, or the PS3 would. There was people saying this stuff
years
back
ago,
then about Master System games. You know, I think it will. If you want to be a 360 collector, be a 360 collector. You know, if you want to. You just need to. My biggest thing is to get an idea of what you actually want to do from the off.
Be more focused.
Yeah, I am completely unfocused.
Yeah.
We had 90 odd games in our last pickups video across 16 different consoles. Completely unfocused.
Yeah.
But my advice would be to absolutely not do that.
Yeah. I did it in the beginning. I just brought up everything. But I was going to card boots. That was back in the day when card boots were very fruitful.
Yeah.
You could pick up everything really cheap.
It's
you
a
know,
different
Tomby
world
on
now.
the PS1 and you know, for 50p a pound, which I remember getting twice that year. You know, those days are gone.
Yeah.
And I don't even bother going to card boots anymore. So resourcing these games is getting much more difficult.
Yeah.
And because everybody's at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, everybody's putting collections together. This collection, I'm sure, is nothing in comparison to many, many other collections out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you think that there's a lot of games here, you want to see some of these other people, don't you? You know?
I've seen plenty of game rooms. But, you know, everyone's different. Everyone collects in different ways. There is no right or wrong way to collect. It's whatever your taste in games is, you know? So, but you do YouTube as well. Tell us about your YouTube channel. You started that, what, a year ago, didn't you?
It's not a year yet. It's about, at the time of this, it's about 8 months, I think.
8 months?
8 or 9 months, yeah. So, I literally I had all these games. I was collecting games, and we have stepped it up, you know. So we've got more now, but we had loads of games room, dedicated games room. And it was just a case of I started a Facebook group just to share what I was picking up.
Yeah.
And from there, it was Lee, Retro Chef, who you know as well. Who,
No.
Yeah, no, you don't know him.
Don't know Lee, no.
I answered an advert. I went out to an advert on Facebook and I said, what's happening with, there was an item. I can't even remember what it was. I went out to him. I didn't know it was him. I said, I'm interested in that. Yeah. And he said, I'll drop it off. I can drop it off. I thought, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But he did. And he come round and he said, are you into this old stuff then? I said, yeah.
Saw all this.
Next thing I kind of showed him, he looked pretty trustworthy. I did, kind of trustworthy.
Yeah, bit of a bulge in his back pocket as he left.
Yeah, exactly. And he come in and he said, wow, like, why are you not on YouTube?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, this this ain't really like YouTube worthy. You can't really go on YouTube with this.
No, I think he was
and
right.
He was like, no, you can. I was like, I'm not sure if I'll be any good, and that like sort of imposter type.
But you don't have to be
thing.
on YouTube just because you've got a collection. I've got many friends that are not on YouTube and they've got amazing collections.
Yes.
And they just something they just don't want to do.
And that was why I kind of felt I didn't want to either.
No.
But he said, no, you'll be all right. Like, it'll be all right. And I did one and I kind of got the bug from there. And it was just, make some more videos.
I think it's mixing with like-minded people, isn't it?
It is. And I had loads of people come to me and say, oh, thank you for this. Thank you for helping me this. A lot of the videos early on were like, try and do this when you go out collecting. It was kind of like advice. I was trying to advise people. Which some was true. Some went down really well. Some maybe not so well. Look, come on, we know what we're doing, and all that sort of stuff. But for the most part, people were like, "That was brilliant." And from that, we just pushed on.
And you got your wife involved now as well with
fiance, not quite wife yet. Not too far away. The date is booked, and
I've watched the videos are brilliant. It's nice seeing you the two of you backwards and forwards and. Seeing her trying out new games and stuff. Yeah, the Fiance Plays series. It was a weekly thing. Yeah. She's got good now, She's got better at games. Exactly. Yeah. So we've put a little pause on that just in case she does get too good. But Has she played Street Fighter yet?
She's not very good at Street Fighter. Yeah,
just put the turbo button on.
Yeah, there's been some games that she's really struggled with. Yeah. But then there's been some that RoboCop on the NES. I never thought she'd get past the first level. Yeah. Smash the first level. Yeah. And
she likes Animal Crossing, doesn't she?
She loves Animal Crossing now. Yeah. She's more into the modern game all of a sudden. She's kind of left the retro. But we get her back, and she'll do more Fiance Plays. And we're always looking for more ideas. We're always thinking, what can we do on YouTube together? Because the channel is a couple channel, but she doesn't know as much about games, so she doesn't make as many videos.
That's great,
she's not involved in everything.
It's always interesting to see. Not an outsider is probably the wrong word, but someone that hasn't got as much experience and knowledge over the years of playing games like we have, just to come in like that and just be thrown at a deep end, really, which is what you've done.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's enjoying it, which is great. And that's what games are about. It's about fun, and YouTube's supposed to be fun as well, isn't it?
If you go back to the first Sonic video we did, which was a stressful video, it was stressful, and it was close, probably the closest to a domestic that there's been. But the fact is that when you see her playing it, it comes naturally to us. Like we think, but that's because we picked it up when we was kids. Yeah. She didn't play that game. Yeah. She didn't really know. She know what Sonic is, obviously, but she didn't know anything about it. Never played it. Playing it for the first time, and we got such a good response. Like people were like, "Oh my god, it's amazing that like she actually doesn't know how to play that game." And there was no acting. There's no pretend. She'd never played that game before.
I think when I watch the kids, because they're quite young and they haven't got the hang of the camera. Yeah, and that is frustrating because they're just walking forward and the camera's looking at the floor. So you've got to use that joystick to move that up. It's just getting those two together.
It's so easy to say, but to these people, it's not easy to do.
Before we end this video, I've got to say a huge thank you for inviting me round here, because I feel like I've made a new friend. You've been over to mine, you made a fantastic video of my arcade, and I really did enjoy that day.
Mate.
Thought we had a great day. We spent time together at the London gaming market.
We did.
And now you've invited me here to see this awesome collection, and it is absolutely amazing. So I want to give you a few gifts.
Lovely.
It's nothing much.
No.
But I just thought I'd add a bit of colour, because I know you said you want a bit of colour, something a bit different for your games room.
Yep.
I've got a few of these left over. I've got you a Neo Geo marquee.
Nice.
With the classic game Polestar on there, which
would
be quite
for
cool.
the machine that you're going to give me next time?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, brilliant, thank you.
But it's just a nice bit of wall art, you know?
Yeah, it could even go up there. I don't know where I'm going to put that. That's lovely.
You know, what I used to do was hang them from the shelf.
Yes.
And see that shelf across the top there?
Yeah.
Put LED lights behind it, and then they all light up.
Yeah, you've got all that. I did
That's
see
what
on
I used
your,
to do.
is this a shameless plug for your box making thing? Is this what it is?
In my old
Cup
arcade,
finals.
yeah. And that's Super Cup finals. I know you like your football games.
Yep.
So I thought I'd give you that. I don't know whether you own this at all. As I say, I'm not collecting Wii U games anymore.
Okay.
But Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends. We'll have to check with Joe.
Have a check. If not, trade it in for a nice other Nintendo game.
Yep, not
Make sure
a
it's
Sega
Nintendo.
game.
Yeah,
not
no
a Sega game.
rubbish.
Oh, look at that. Nice. Very nice. Thank you, mate.
And I thought you needed to hone your skills in again with a bit of Mortal Kombat Fighter's Companion Guide.
Wow.
You know? It's got all the tricks of the trade in there.
I do actually need to brush up on Mortal Kombat. I don't, you know.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
That's what we were saying about the timing. I think Mortal Kombat's even more vital for timing.
Yeah, and I noticed you don't have many books in here.
No.
You're not a book collector, gaming book collector. Yeah. I love my books.
Yeah, I don't have enough books. I only have one Mega Drive tips and cheats book.
Okay, well there you go. There's another tips and cheats book.
This one will go very nicely next to that.
And I thought I'll also give you some Water Day cards.
Oh, lovely.
Of the Sky Skipper project.
Okay. What's the Sky Skipper again?
I'm not going there.
No. You know.
Sky Skipper, you know, guys. There's my good friend Whitney Roberts.
Yep.
He was my partner in the project.
He was brilliant on that video.
And there's the Sky Skipper one. So these were given out by Water Day, who did the Twin Galaxies.
Wow.
High score competitions.
Wow.
And just a little, look, there they all are on the back. They're all the people that are involved in the project. So you've got Billy Mitchell, Water Day, Whitney, Ollie, who did all the artwork, me, and that's Rich, This Old Game, who did the artwork.
Oh.
There you go, mate.
They're lovely, yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
He was the real star of the show, wasn't he?
Who's that?
Whitney. He was, he was.
Now look what we got here. Look at this. The old naughty but nice section.
Delicious.
Look at that. Look at that gorgeous bit of cake. How are you going to get into that then, mate? You're not going to get out a knife and fork, are you?
No.
You've got to stick that in your gob.
I don't, I'm not sure. My mouth ain't that big.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we'll have a bit of peace and quiet while we have our dessert, okay? Tuck in, my friend.
It won't go in, mate. Delicious.
How are you finding the texture?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Taste?
Yep, very nice. The
Very
strawberry.
nice. Strawberry's really coming
I'm really
out.
Getting the accents on the strawberry.
Yeah?
They taste like British strawberries.
Yeah, because I know you lot round here in Essex eat a lot of jellied eels. Is that right?
Not all of us, mate.
Is that an Essex thing? So I'm eating my mouth full.
I don't like slimy stuff like that.
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
This is nice, though, mate.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Because I haven't done a naughty and nice section for such a long time. Guys, look at these. Absolutely delicious. My audience loves to watch this.
Well,
when are you going to bring it back? When are you going to bring it back? We should do this in every video.
The one where that lady just smashes it into your face.
In my face, yeah. That's it. That was the end of it then.
Do you have that effect on women that they want to just throw cakes in your face?
I'll let you finish that mouthful. Silence. Rob.
Delicious.
It was really delicious. Thank you so much for letting me do this tour. Guys, if you haven't checked out Rob's channel, I'll put a link in this video below. It's a fantastic channel, it really is. He does it with his fiancée, And it does loads of pickups.
Pickups, yep.
You do lots of interviews with
big and small tubers, YouTubers.
Yeah.
All over.
You've done some real big tubers, haven't you?
We've done a few, yeah.
Yeah. But not me. Oh, you did the game room tour.
Yeah, we did one. You was, you know, we sort of put you above them.
Yeah.
We actually visited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I visited. You know,
well, maybe we'll fly you out to see Reggie or the others one day.
Yeah. Well, I could see the star of the Skyscraper project, couldn't I?
Rob, it's been a real pleasure, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you so much. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Go and check out Rob's channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, that's it, guys. That brings us to the end of the video, unfortunately, but I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a fantastic time. Robert, thank you so much for inviting us over there. And what can I say? What an amazing collection. What an immense collection. What I loved about Robert's collection was it was very well organised and very accessible. There's nothing worse than going into a games room and not knowing where anything is and can't get to anything. You know, I hate it when I come down here and I haven't tidied up the night before, you know, but Robert's collection was so perfectly organised and set up. I love the fact that he had that dividing wall that he'd made just so he could house more games in. I love the fact that every single console, and he had so many different consoles, all set up at a push of a button and they come straight up on the TV. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Fantastic games room. And guys, if you haven't checked out Robert's YouTube channel, go over there and check out the Essex Retro Gamer. I'll put a link in this video below. And you know, guys, these game room tours, I love doing them. I really do. They take up the whole day, and then they take up another half day editing them. But I really enjoy making them, and I love sharing them with my subscribers. You guys, loads of love to you guys that watch these. I really appreciate it. And you know, I'm going to carry on making them as long as collectors keep walking forward, coming forward, and asking me to film their collections. I'll be there. So, but that will probably be the last one of this year. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, as I say, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.